Hi everybody, 9 o'clock on your Friday morning. It's not 2013, by the way. We're just happy. We're just happy. So happy to have Loriana Hernandez
I'm happy
back.
to be alive, to be here on this earth.
Yes.
God is great.
And we are happy to have you after the year you've had. We have been talking about the reason you're in town to talk about the fight against leukemia and other blood cancers.
Yeah, I'm here to get everybody to armor up. Armor up just in your life, and also to go out to the walk for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. There's one thing that they told me at Johns Hopkins is there's so many trials funded by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. In fact, one that saved my life. 10 months into my year-long stay of hell at the hospital, they thought the cancer was gone, and they sent me home for 2 weeks to reunite with my son, and they called me and said, get back here right away, it's coming back. And it was because of a leukemia-funded study that was able to look deeper into the cells and say that that little cell was going to turn into cancer, had already started forming into cancer. I rushed back and had a transplant, and that's because of them. And their funding dollars do make a big difference, and they have financial services for patients, and they really help, and it's critical.
The bottom line of it is hope. Something that's not there right now that will be there 6 months from now, 9 months from now, 2 years from now, until someday we beat this thing all together.
As they say, someday, we hope someday is today. I mean, I really don't want anyone to go through the journey I had to go through, and that's why I started my Armor Up campaign, because I remember crawling on my hands and knees, so sick I couldn't function, and I would cry to my husband and say, how does somebody not fit survive this? This was like the worst Survivor show. I thought it was like a Survivor nightmare show. I could barely function, and as you guys know, I was very into working out. I was a triathlete, and not professionally, but I worked out. I was the clean eating segment, the green drinking, and the doctor said, and this is my mission, this is my battle cry. I decided my whole career, I had always motivated people to get fit, and said, get fit, change your life through diet and exercise. So fighting leukemia was going to be no different. And when the doctor said, look, because you're fit, you're going to get this much chemo, and this is what you need. And the guy down the hall or the girl down the hall is going to get this much, because we have to tiptoe around their illness. So for me, this leukemia walk is so important. One, because we're getting exercise and we're moving. We're raising money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. B, the match will be out there because we need more donors. I can't tell you, sitting up at night, crying, praying for a donor. And if my sister wasn't a match, they couldn't find one because I'm mixed race. And I can't tell you what it's like to sit there and cry for your son and think, if I don't have a donor, I said to the doctor, well, then what's next? Because, you know, in TV, we think, oh, then we'll go to this next interview, or we'll do this. There's always a plan B in TV. And he said, you likely will succumb to the disease and you'll die. And I'm sorry, I get very emotional about it, but the thought of my son growing up without me and never seeing him again, and it was so abrupt saying goodbye. It's so important for everybody to raise money for Leukemia Society, because you could raise money for yourself. I mean, look at me. I look so different, and it's so hard to see these pictures when I'm happy now because I'm happy to be alive. But, you know, I was enjoying life. I look so different, and cancer has taken a toll on me. I'm alive, but I'm damaged and broken emotionally.
I don't know that I agree with that.
We don't agree with that.
Cancer
awesome.
doesn't know who it's messed with.
Yeah, I know.
And the bottom line is not only are you well on the road to healing, but you're taking this fight for other people, even as you stay healthy. And that's what tomorrow night's all about.
And so much, you know, you have so much faith and, like you said, hope. And not only that, the other word that I would describe is inspiration.
Oh,
you know,
thank you.
You're an inspiration to a lot of people out there. And
I had to remember that I had to think that it's not just my fight, that there's so many other people fighting. I happen to be blessed. We have a great news director, Pam Vaught, who would say, send us another story, send us another story. And she kept me alive. She doesn't know how much that meant to me. And it gave me something to do besides stare at the walls. I didn't have friends there. I didn't know anyone. I had no visitors. It's like I was rotting there and crying, and I needed hope. And you guys doing the stories for everybody here, all of you, your Facebook posts, your messages, your armoring up of what you did. I'm just, so all of you
they
really.
helped us too, because we wanted to be there. We couldn't. We're like, but at least you kept us up to date and felt like you were there with us.
We're so happy to have you back.
I have a bone marrow biopsy next Friday, and of course I asked for prayer for that, but for everybody, because I have friends who've gone through transplant and they've relapsed already. And so this is still serious. It's like you don't get a transplant, and poof, you walk away and life is free and clear. This is a fight that goes on.
That's why the fight to knock out blood cancer and all cancer will keep going until it's gone.
Yeah.
And you'll be a big leader in that.
And don't forget to armor up.
Yeah.
You are already a big leader.
I have stuff on my website, armorupcampaign.com, and I will keep everyone posted on how you can armor up in your life.
I'm looking forward to hanging out again at Light the Night tomorrow night. Okay, now that we've got all this fun, pleasant, nice stuff outside, you're mad at Zach because of the weather that he brought.
Yes,
the one week you're back after all these nice...
I haven't seen you forever, and you're like, Zach, give me good weather. And I'm like,
in DC, in November, December, January, February, you get a bounce house for your basement, and you hide out. You don't go out because it's 20 degrees.
And snowing.
And snowing. So
I thought,
I'm packing summer clothes, waiting for beautiful weather, and I'm like, are you kidding me, Zach?
No, I'm not kidding. I wish you would have came last weekend.
I know.
The
last 2
weekend.
weekends.
It's been beautiful.
Nice.
It just means I have to come back.
There you go.
Yes.
I like that.
Another excuse.
Another
You're always welcome.